Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or even good night. Whenever and wherever you're watching this. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Sherrie. I'm here on YouTube. It's Justsewsherrie, and also over on Instagram. It's Justsewsherrie. Today is the 19th of November 2023. It's my daddy's birthday tomorrow, and I'm a proper daddy's girl. So I'll be over seeing him tomorrow. He's away this weekend. I think my brother invited him for a birthday dinner or something. Don't take that much notice. I think it's just brothers. You don't really... It's all white noise, isn't it? When it comes to brothers. Maybe. I don't think he watches this. His son, Seamus, my nephew, did watch my first one and gave me some feedback on it, which I was very impressed with. And God love him, he offered to help me edit. He was like, oh, you know, I don't mind, because I haven't got a clue. But then you all decided that I didn't need to edit anyway. So this is the fourth time I've tried to start this, so it's starting. However it comes out, it's how it comes out, as per. It will be Justsewsherrie. So, got my iced without any ice latte. It's, oh my God, oh, thought it was 10:15. It's not 10:15. My little alarm clock says it's 10:15, but it appears I haven't turned it back after the clocks went back, because it's definitely 10:09. So that's 10:15. My phone says 10:09. I know why it says 2:45 rather than 10:02 is because I like to be early for things. So if I put all my clocks in the house to the same time as like at least 5 minutes early, then I've got half a hope of getting there. Anyway, where are we? Where have I been? All over. It's all been exciting stuff. I've had some big stuff going on. I went to a retreat, and some of you might have watched my winter and Christmas whip parade, which I recorded the day before I went to the retreat, and I had a fab, absolutely incredible. Every time I go to one, I think, oh, this is the best yet. It's just, it just fills your soul with happiness. It really does. I had a cracking table of ladies, who a lot of are Flosstubers. So I will be linking them below. I had Lauren, Cross-Stitch Bunny. There was Sarah, Stacey. I'm trying to work my way around the table. Lauren was vending on the first day, so she only sat with us on the Sunday, really. She decided to do one day as a vendor and another day as a stitcher. Yeah, there was Lauren, Sarah, Stacey, Tan, Rosie, Jess, Jo, Emma, and beautiful Beth, and then me. And what a laugh we had. What an absolute ball. It was brilliant. It just... Lauren, who's Cross-Stitch Bunny on YouTube, did a proper review of it, and she did like videos as they went. So she showed like the hotel that we stayed in, and did she show the vending room? I'm sure she did. And of course the brag table, and the brag table was just superb. I met some cracking women, absolutely. There was no men there, which is unusual. Most retreats I've gone to have at least had a token fella, and there wasn't any at this one, which, yeah, I like seeing diversity in stitching, and that's something I'm going to talk about in a little bit, when I get to one of my patterns that I gifted myself. So yeah, I've just lost me train of thought. This isn't anything new, ladies and gents. The menopause. Could be just me and I'm blaming the menopause. If there's an excuse there, I'm taking it. I'm definitely taking it. So yeah, I met some cracking ladies. And people knew me. And I was like, how do you know me? And they're like, well, from YouTube. I was like, oh yeah. I never even thought people would know me. That was a bit weird. And I'm just a I'm just a bit of a wally, aren't I? Just trying to make the best of life. And trying to make some fun out of life. And before I go any further, Carol, the Saltbox Stitcher, mentioned me. It took me, bearing in mind, if you all watched my first floss tube, I ran away from Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, because I was just so intimidated. Not so much intimidated, I want to impress her, and when I grow up, I want to be Michelle, I think that's what it is. She's wonderful. So when Carol mentioned me, I was like, has that just happened? And I took about 24 hours just stunned. Like, did that happen? Did I dream? I must have dreamt it. It took me a fortnight to build up the courage to say thank you. And she was like, I'm just a stitcher. I was like, but you're not, Carol. You're a legend. You are a legend in stitching. And I know Christy from the Floss Boss and Cousins calls her the original gangster of cross stitch, the OG of cross stitch. And she is. But Carol, let's be honest, she's the godmother of stitching. She really is. And I was just, I'm still quite stunned. Can't quite believe. Yeah, I just can't quite believe it still. So yeah, that was exciting. I went to Harrogate to the Knitting and Stitching show, and I had a little chat with Santa. And Santa said I deserved lots of nice things because I was a right good lass. Proper right good lass. He says, do you know, Sherrie, you deserve it. You deserve all these gifts. You work hard for your money and you've saved your pennies. You deserve it. So it all got a bit wild. Shall we say? Got a bit wild. Was all out of control at one point. And the only reason it got back under control at the end was because I was so bloody knackered. I was shattered at the end of it. So yeah, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Justsewsherrie moment for this week. There are a few I could pick from. Really quite a few. I'm going to tell you the one that I suppose I'm quite embarrassed about. Am I quite embarrassed? Yeah, I am. Equally, it might be funny as well. I had an engineer come to my house to fix my broadband. And he was a young fella, and I'm saying young fella, he was probably a little bit younger than me. Quite nice looking guy. And he came in and he quite blatantly propositioned me. Like, quite blatantly. Like, there was no doubting his intentions. I think it started as partly my fault because he had to move that. I'd swung like the unit with the telly on out the way, and he needed to move it a bit further. And he says, all right. I says, yeah. I says, sorry, I didn't realise you would need more room. And he went, well, it's because my drill's so big. And I just did a little, I did a little, it was a very little, and then retrieved it. And he went, "Oh, you like that, did you?" I says, "I'm not going there. I am not going there." And he just laughed and he says, "Well," he says, "I've been known to pop back to customers' houses with a bottle of wine and a Chinese, you know." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Oh, aye. I've done it a couple of times." He says, "In fact, sometimes I haven't even gone home for the bottle of wine." And I went, "Right." At this point, it was spiralling. You know, the conversation was spiralling. And I'm like, right, okay. And what was it he said? And because I thought that was like, isn't that plumbers that do things like that? And he says, "Oh, aye." He says, "You know, there's always like the story about sorting out our leaky pipes." At which point I said, "Yes, but you don't know how old I am and how leaky my pipes are." Then there was this deathly silence. And you know, when the tumbleweeds and the crickets, and I'm thinking, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? What can I say? And I realised there was no retrieving of that sentence. So yeah, sorting the leaky pipes out. Well, you don't know how old I am and how leaky my pipes are, believe me. You know, when you just think, did I actually say that out loud? And then as he left, he turned around, he went, "I'll be back later with that bottle of wine, will I?" And I just sort of went, sounds came out of my mouth, but no actual words, like. So I had an early night. I went to bed at about 6:45, turned all my lights off. I was so frightened he would turn up. I turned all my lights off and I got into bed and I watched Flosstubers in bed. I didn't even stitch because I didn't even want to put any lights on. So yeah, I had a very early night alone that night. So yeah, so that was a moment that I'll never be able to retrieve. And God knows what he'll be going around telling his workmates. Anyway, we're here for cross-stitching stuff. Let's start with some finishes, some fully finishes that I have just done. One of them, in fact, no, start with a normal finish. I finished Hello Fall by Plum Street Samplers, and I finished it on, do my usual trying to say where the hell the camera is. I finished it on October the 30th or the 31st, I can't remember. Just realised I haven't got my microphone out, and there's me being all professional. I actually don't even know where I've put it. I'll get it when I jump to the next pile, when I have to have a pause. So that is Hello Fall by Plum Street Samplers, and I hopped into, it was a sale that Laura from Textilly hosted with her friend Cindy, and it was Plum Street Pumpkin Sale, I think. So yeah, I managed to get it finished. I didn't put, we talked about this, I wanted to put Hello Autumn rather than Hello Fall, purely because autumn is the word that we use in the UK, but I still haven't charted it. I will do it because I've done the Hello Spring one, and I've put on the bottom Hello Spring, and I've made it into a cushion, and I wanted them all the same, so I wanted one out in each season, so I will put Hello Autumn on it. So it's finished, but I just need to put some words in. That'll probably happen at some point next year now, but that is my finish. So chuffed with that. And then I've got 2 fully finishes. I did this one a year ago, and this is, I can't remember the name, but I know it's Little House Needleworks. And that is my fully finished. So all I've done, can't see very well there. So this is literally a bell pull that I got from Create Nostalgia. It's only a couple of quid. It wasn't expensive. And what I did with this was I just got some thick ribbon and put it down the back and glued it all the way down like the 4. And then I just covered it with some cardstock that I had. So it was a really easy finish in the end. I had half done it anyway, so I've put batten on. I've just mounted it on cardstock because I don't think I had any mount board at the time. Put a couple of layers of batten in, so it's got a bit of poof to it, and then I just needed to string it all together this year, and I'll probably end up popping a bit of tape or something on just to keep it, because it's going to fall off. The ribbon isn't exactly thick enough really to keep it, but I'll bring it in closer so you can see the actual pattern. So Snow Friends, and it's Bunny Tree, snowman in his tree, and a nice little snow scene. They're lush, absolutely lush. And I really enjoyed making them as well. They're on a mushroom Lugana 28 count. I am sure. And the other one I showed in my Winter Whip Parade briefly, because I've literally just finished it though, so I'm going to show it here. So this is called The White Christmas Tree, and it's by Historical Sampler. And in my whip video, I talked about that I actually stitched this 3 times. I did it once on the called for my sister, and then I had to order it again. And I told a bit of a fib. I said I had lost the pattern, so I had to reorder it, and then I found the pattern. But when I've looked, I can only find 1 pattern again now, so I don't know whether I ever found the pattern or not. I don't know whether I've just totally lied, but I know how to buy it twice. And then so this is on the original. Now, a lady got in touch with me and said, I can't find it. So I had a look, and it doesn't appear that Historical Sampler have it anymore. So I can only apologise, because I showed it in me Winter Whips. I have to confess, I just assumed it would still be there. I don't know why it's not. I mean, it's kind of a timeless piece. I don't know. So apologies. That is an old pattern by Historical Sampler, but I did finish it, put it in a frame. Finally, I've left the glass off the front and just put some batten on, as per is my norm. So that is that. I have got another one that that I showed in my Winter Whips, which I maybe should have fully finished, but never mind, I haven't. So these are Vervico designs, and it is a set of 3. And the reason I'm showing them again is another lady got in touch and said these are half price at the moment at Hobbycraft. So I had a look, and yes, they are currently retailing for £11, or they were 2 days ago when I looked anyway. So these are dead sweet, and I'm putting them in some little glittery silver frames that I bought end of season last year from B&M. So there would have been, I think they were £2 for the 2 frames. And I bought 3 lots because I gave, so that meant I had 6 frames because I'd done another set of, not these ones, but very similar Santas, and gave them to my friend last year for Christmas. So I've got 3 frames left to finish them with. And a previous fully finished I wanted to show you is this, but let me just check. I'm just checking because it was a free pattern and I can't remember what the right. It is this. And I finished it into, I had a tilde fabric. And I just did a centre thing. And I don't know if you can see, I've done it really well. Around here, what I did was I cut out another piece of the tree from another spare piece that I had to just cover the back with. So this is the tilde fabric that I got years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was from the channel Create and Craft, but I've had it years. So this is, it's a free pattern and it's called The Joy of Winter from Stitches Through the Years, and I know they're on Etsy. I used all the called for DMC and I Rit dyed this Ada. So this is it's a 14 count Ada, but when it gets Rit dyed, it what do you call it, shrinks a little bit. So it's probably like a 15 count. But I wanted to show you that because it's a free pattern, and don't we all like free stuff? I had a conversation when I was at the retreat actually about money and about people who can afford things, and it's quite, you know, I've been in a place where I had nothing, literally pennies, not even pennies sometimes in my pocket, and it can be quite difficult watching people who appear to have lots of things when you've got nothing. And as long as you can find some thread, the amount of free patterns out there, you know, what was I going to say about thread? There's sort of cheapish thread that you can get, and a lot of it works just as well as DMC or Anchor or any of the others. And the other thing I've seen threads at is charity shops, because quite often when older ladies unfortunately die, they may have a stash of, they tend to have a stash of like knitting stuff and stitching stuff and sewing stuff, and the families don't know what to do with them, so the whole lot just goes en masse usually to the charity shop. So you can find some really good bargains in charity shops with threads. I've seen them a couple of times, and one of them, I'm still kicking myself that I didn't pick it up fairly recently, because we all need, we all have to budget, right? I have to budget the same as everybody else, but I'm in a very, very fortunate place at the moment. We all know there's a cost of living crisis going on, and cost of living is hugely expensive at the moment, and I'm very acutely aware of how fortunate I am that I live alone, and with that comes a much more controlled budget. So things like washing powder and washing up liquid, I don't have to use anywhere near as much as a family. So I can make the things that I buy last a lot longer. I can control how long I'm in the shower for, that sort of thing. And you haven't always got that control when you've got either a partner and or children. and my daughter's just 31 and she's living around the world at the moment. So I don't even have that really at the moment, you know, where you would meet up with and I would have a cuppa or would go out for lunch and I would pay for it for lunch. I haven't even got that at the moment, so I'm very, very, very aware of how blessed I am to have that control in my life. So yeah, I think, you know, my mum always said, waste not, want not. You know, if you never waste anything, you'll never want for anything. So I'm still kicking myself a bit about them threads that I saw, but I'd like to think that they went to somebody who maybe couldn't have bought them any other way. So definitely keep an eye out. There's some real bargains to be had in charity shops. Right, I'm going to pause there because I'm going to grab my microphone before we head into WIPs. Okie dokie. Hopefully any ladies who were struggling to hear me can hear me again a little bit easier now. So I've got new starts and WIPs all in kind of one pile. So we'll just bash through them because I've got a lot of gifts to show you as well. First one, Chris the Camping Stitcher released Let It Snow. I haven't printed it out because I'm being dead technical and stitching it from Pattern Keeper. I know, even I was shocked. So, Let It Snow, and this is on I think it's a 16 count. So it's a new start and a WIP at the same time. Now this, I'll just show you this fabric. This is home dyed, can you tell? This is Rit dyed. This is from my last floss tube, the one that I was going to do Fallen Snow on. It was like a really light pale bluey aqua colour, and I decided to just Rit dye over it with some denim blue to try and pull it, but when I put it in the oven it's kind of burned, and I'm not convinced. I think it would be perfect for something, but what, I don't really know. But it was perfect colour to do this on. She's done it on Haunted, which I have got, but I thought this would work. So yeah, that's my new start, and it's very definitely a WIP now. So let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. I'm sure you love that. I don't know why I've just sang to you. And this is part of my gifts, but it's already been used. Flipping cat hair, man. Bloody cats. Did any of you see me post on Instagram with Charlie? You know, the cat that's not my cat. Inside the box on my kitchen bench. He's not allowed on my kitchen bench. He obviously is allowed to in his official home. He ain't allowed in this house. My two boys wouldn't dare. So he did find a way around it by lying in a box on the kitchen bench. Like, looking at us like, I'm not on the bench. And technically he wasn't. Anyway, this is one of the little I mean, I don't know, most people would maybe use it as a notions bag. I'm using it as a project bag for my smalls that I'm doing on Pattern Keeper. So it fits perfectly because it's only got the one thread. It's only got the white. And it fits perfectly. So I think they're fab bags, and I got this from Andrea Bowen, who's the Stitchy Science Technician on Instagram, and I got another one of these, but that's still in me gifts. I haven't started using it yet. Let's go back. Let's go back. And this is Primitive Hair. Oh, do you know? I'm so sorry there. I undid all of the bag. Well, I thought I'd undone all of the bags. Mainly wouldn't bother me so much but now that I've got the microphone, when I listen to the last one back, you can hear a lot of like the peripheral noise, if you like, that you wouldn't normally get on my laptop microphone. So it's picking up a lot more. So I've tried to make everything as less noisy as possible. So this is the Season of the Witch, because the last floss tube I did was before Halloween, and I got a little bit more done on that. I haven't finished it, but I did get a bit more done. So I got her skirt, I got the grey finished, I finished her shoes, and I did some more of the brown. And I think this will be done. I like stitching Halloween, and I'm kind of I'm gonna have to say it now, aren't I? I was gonna say I'm boobs deep into Christmas, but let's be honest, it doesn't take much for my boobs to be deep into Christmas because I'm so flipping short. And my boobs are no longer where they should be. I used to be a 36F, I'm now a 36 South. As the electrician didn't get to find out after my leaky pipes. But there you go. God, sometimes I amuse myself even. So, yeah, I like stitching Halloween, and I've got a feeling I'll pick that up long before Halloween stitching is the thing again. So hopefully that will be finished for October, not even just for Halloween, for October, I think. My love, my love, my love, my love. I'm going to show you this. It kind of goes into gifts. I was talking to Sarah at the retreat who does Not Enough Whip bags, and I picked up 2 vinyl fronted bags, and she says, you don't do vinyl fronted bags, you like fabric bags. And I do like fabric bags, because what I said was I wanted to look at the nice fabric, not the mess inside of whatever's been shoved in. And quite often, well, yeah, some project bag designers put the nice fabric in the back. Well, you're not going to see that because you're going to have all your stuff on top of it. But I discovered what works for me in vinyl front bags, and I discovered, and I'll show you this, I discovered if I put my stitch in so I can see it, I'm much more likely to pick it up, because I think, oh yeah, I'd forgotten how much I love that. So it means I can see it. So I did end up buying another couple of vinyl front bags, whereas normally I'd been staying away from them a little bit. So yeah, this is my newest. These are the threads. It is my patchwork calendar by Owl Forest Embroidery, which I love. And I just can't put down. It's my comfort stitch, I've realised. It was Sherrie, the Colorado cross stitcher, was talking about it. And I'm sure Sarah was talking about it as well, about comfort stitching. I could be wrong. I could have just entirely made that up. But that is the pattern. So that is the 12 months of the year. And I not only got a finish, I got a new start and a finish, and another new start since you last saw it. So when you last saw it, I only had a little bit of this left to do. And since then, I've moved down. I've done April, and I'm now in the middle of May. So I'll take that closer so you can see the colours, because they are just beautiful, really beautiful. Can you see it? Actually, you can see it better there. Gorgeous. This is done on 40 count ballet slippers by Fox and Rabbit with 1 thread over 2. I keep forgetting to say the threads. Generally, if it's a 36 or a 40 count, it'll be 1 thread over 2. And 20 count and 22 count is 1 thread over 1, and the rest are 2 threads, either over 2 if it's linen or even weave, or over 1 on either. So that is that. I sat and stitched on it yesterday. I was at today's Sunday, so I was at the knitting and stitching show on Friday, and as you'll know, I've got some sort of mobility things going on, some health stuff going on, and by the end of the day I was whacked, absolutely whacked, and I literally slept. I was in my bed and asleep for about 8 o'clock, I think, Friday night. Only got home at 7, and I didn't wake up until it was 7:15 the next morning. Although I wake up and go back to sleep during the night, but that's another thing. So pretty much I'd slept for nearly 12 hours, which was just not like me. So I was whacked. So yesterday I picked up my comfort stitching, my patchwork calendar, and I sat with Flosstube all day, and I even had a Jarmy day. Very, very rare that I have those now. Very rare. I usually get washed and put underwear on, and then put new jammies on, which I did. But it meant I had a really comfy, cosy day. So these are, there's 2 in this one, if I remember right. Yeah, these, I think this is a whip. I think you've seen it before. This is by Needle Treasures Nook on Etsy. And it is done in a red. I know this is a black and white picture, but it's done in a red. And I'm doing it in a red. I'm doing it in Lancaster Red by Weeks. Is it Weeks? Yeah, Weeks. Lancaster Red by Weeks. I'm not far away. I worked a bit on this yesterday as well. This is a... I'm sure this is a 32 count, because I think this is the linen I talked about last time that I bought years ago for embroidery, and it's just like a flax coloured. So I'm pleased with that. He's coming on. I should get that finished in the next couple of days. I'm hoping anyway, because I'm still off work until Wednesday. No, Thursday. I'm off work on Wednesday because I'm having a mummy-daughter day out. I'm going with my mum to make Advent wreath up at a place called Kirkley Hall near us. And I've done it for the last 2 years. I've gone and made it, and oh, love it, really love it. So the second one was a brand new start yesterday again, because I could. And this is Needle Treasures Nook as well, and this is Snowflake Biscone. Now, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I need to ask you a question. Is it Biscone or Biscone you? You as in Y or U, or oo as in oo? Ooh, as in ooh. Trying to think of some, you know, when you put pressure, the pressure's on. I can't think of anything that isn't ooh. No, I can't think. Oh. So anyway, now this is done on a it's called Wisteria. This is the tag on it. It doesn't give me a fabric dyer, But I've got a feeling oh, hang on. It says needle in a haystack. I wonder if that's Caroline. Caroline Selden. I'm sure I thought it was haystack stitching. Anyway, I'm not sure where it's from, but it's a pretty blue, and I'm just using a 161. So I just started it last night, and this is a little needle minder that I got from Sammy Little Loops. So that's just a start. Again, won't take me very long to do that, so that'll be another little small for Christmas. So that is that. I just thought it was really pretty. That is that. I'm trying to stay a little bit organised. Other Flosstubers watching will feel me pain, because it really is quite painful sometimes doing floss tubes. This is another Little House Needleworks. This is Winter Petites. And I almost finished the first one. So the angel, I've almost finished her or him. And I made a start on the second one, my second one. And this is on that 28 count Lugana, the mushroom Lugana. I got quite a big piece of it, and I did. Oh, I've hung it back up again. So there, the one that I showed you before, it's on the same fabric, so they'll match. So I'll be able to hang them together, because the theory is to do the same. And what I'll do is I'll hang them on either side of my fireplace, like on the columns. I'll hang them on there. And that little cute little needle minder I got from Michelle at Stitch Mania. And it was a little freebie because she was late in sending something out, so she included that, which was really sweet. Because to be fair, I get things when I get things. I don't really get that bothered. This is the one that oh man, I haven't got the do you know, I was doing so well. I hadn't even had to go back to my pattern cupboard until now. Right, where's my Christmas? And that pattern cupboard is soon to become 2 pattern cupboards when you see how much I bought. Whispered in the Wind, Whispered by the Wind even, Christmas Flower. And the pattern, one of the ladies commented on my last floss tube and said the photo on the pattern doesn't do justice, and it doesn't. And I saw this in not in real life, but I saw the actual stitch version, and it is so sumptuous. It's absolutely stunning. So I've been working on that a little bit. And this is on a 28 count Vala. Yeah, 28 count Vala by Picture This Plus. And that is as far as I am. And you can see how rich the colours are. Really lovely. Really, really lovely. And the fabric really is gorgeous, and I'm sure it's the called for as well. Yeah. 2/2 on 28 count Vala. And I am doing it on was the Gloriana. Doing it on Gloriana. Gator green? No. I don't know. I put it on the last one. It's because I've put them on these little thread drops. So I haven't got a copy of what they are. So yeah. So that is them. That is them, that is that. This is my historical sampler, Sal, which I haven't got much further than what I showed you on. So I haven't got really that far. And you can see it's an advent calendar. So they've now released 3 parts to it. I'll just find it and show it to you. Again, this is the one I'm doing on Pattern Keeper. So that is what we've got so far. So you can see I've just done the outline of the roof really. There's quite a lot to do. It'll be lovely, and I'm just doing it on all the called for, which is just a green Ada 16 count with all the called for threads. They sent it in as a kit, pretty much. So I'm doing it as the teacher tells. I'm listening to the teacher. My high school teachers would never believe it. I remember my sister, I've got a little sister, and she went to the same high school I did. And she got a maths teacher, and I don't know if he said, "You're not Sherrie Dodd's sister, are you?" And she said, "Yeah." And he went, "Oh, good God." Yeah. Oh, good God. Put his head in his hands. Okay, next one. Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. I love this. I love this, I love this, I love this. And this has become another favourite stitch. So I've got right to the bottom on the border. Doing this on Fibre on a Whim 32 count cream and sugar 2/2. So yeah, I've got to the bottom of the border there, and I've got to the end there. I was getting a little bit antsy, thinking, oh, please let me have left enough, but I have. It's perfect. And then I've done a little bit in that top corner. I am under no illusions that this will get done for this year. It won't. But hopefully it'll get done for next year is what I'm hoping. But it's lovely to stitch on. If anyone's on the fence, go for it. And because this book as well has got so much in it, it really has. So it's Home for the Holidays. I should have said that actually. Home for the Holidays by Blackbird Designs. It's got all these little stockings in it as well. Cracking book. Absolutely fantastic book. And my last one. This is a good one. This is a great one. Now, Jardin Privé cat lovers, can you remember? Every time I've shown this, I've said, because I substituted the cat lovers, it's meant to be done in like a brown, and I just didn't like it, because I just didn't. So I'd done it in a like a bluey steely kind of colour, and I got about 2/3 of the way through it and I lost the thread, and I hadn't kept a note of what I'd substituted it with. Excuse me. And I kept saying I needed to unpack my caravan because I'm giving it up. I just found it too much going back and forwards with 3 cats, and the health stuff I've got going on was just too heavy. So anyway, I went up on Wednesday and unpacked it, and I was hoping to find the thread when I unpacked the caravan. I did find the thread, not from when I unpacked the caravan though. I found it when I came home from the retreat, because it was in the little zip on my case that I used. I don't know what I've done with it now. There it is. I found it. 317. Found it. So I was pleased I hadn't frogged it. So I managed to get the words finished. And I've done quite a bit more on it actually. So I managed to get the lovers finished. I've done the motif in the centre, all of this. I had some of the petals done. So I've finished the motif in the centre and I've started the one underneath. And I've also got quite a bit done on this bottom. I don't know why I always leave working threads. I suppose it means it's easy to go back to, but that one there. So I've done quite a bit. So it's coming on. It's still got quite a way to go. So it's still got yeah, I've got a lot of at the bottom to do. I've still got all of this, the rest of this to do, the rest of that to do, and I've got all the cats. So there's quite a bit more still to do. I feel like I'm getting there with it. Definitely getting there. But of course, lots of things will turn to Christmas now. But I'm chuffed to bits that I found that thread. Oh, and because I hadn't kept a copy of it, had I? And then randomly, I looked at I was looking at the letters again, because obviously I would need the pattern to re-chart the letters. I'm just trying to bend it so you don't see very much of this. And at the top of the cat, the actual cat, 317. So I'd put a note on, put a little mark there to show it's 317. Can't believe it. After I'd found the flipping thread. I despair. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up now and then we'll go into my gifts of Santa. Bear in mind I've been to a retreat as well, which obviously I had to treat myself to some gifts there. I mean, it was only right, wasn't it? I did loads of stitching. Loads. 90 stitches I did. At lunchtime on the Sunday, I literally packed everything away because I just thought, you know what, I'm giving up. I'm giving up even pretending to stitch. So I packed everything away and yeah. Gave up the pretense. Okie doke, I'll be back in a moment with my gifts. Okay. Have you brought your crash helmet? Get yourself strapped in. Get your crash helmet pulled on tight. That's what I should have had on Friday. I knew it was probably going to get out of hand. But it got out of hand, quite seriously. So firstly, I will go through what I got at the retreat. And this is what I got made of a lady called Edita. So it's a little pincushion, and isn't it just delightful? And she made us all little crocheted, were they crocheted or knitted? I don't know, I'd have to ask her. Little flowers. At the last one, not the royal one, the summer holiday retreat, Hey, I've been doing all right today with words. I've just realised. I'm very unlike me. So yeah, I've got some lovely little flowers off her from the summer holiday retreat, and I got a forget-me-not one, and it's blue and yellow, and I don't know why. Because I was talking to her, I says, oh, I've got me, I call it me Ukraine flower, and I don't know why, it's a forget-me-not. Obviously it's blue and yellow. Right, what was I just saying about words? Ukraine. Don't know why I talk about it as my Ukraine flower. But it's I've attached it to my little case that I take to retreats with me, and it just reminds me of Edita, and she's a lovely woman. Really, really lovely woman. Yeah, I feel very blessed to have met such fantastic people on my cross-stitch journey. And if you're in two minds, whether to go to a retreat, absolutely go. I've been to all 4 of my retreats on my own. I haven't sort of known who was going to be there ahead of time. And I know I was chatting to beautiful Beth on my table, and I was saying how much time I spend alone, because I can literally go a full week without, because I work from home, without speaking physically to another person. And I'm all right with that. And I know a lot of people couldn't and wouldn't. And she said, do you think you're an introvert? That because you seem really like sort of bouncy and bubbly. And I said, I think I'm a socially skilled introvert at heart. As a kid, I was very attention seeking. And I suffer terribly from imposter syndrome. I know that. Like, oh God, I can't do this. I shouldn't be doing that, you know. Yeah. I do suffer from that, I know that. But I can equally spend time with people, but I need to withdraw and, what's the phrase? Sort of, not rebuild myself, but yeah, rebuild my strength. I need to just withdraw into the quiet of just being. Mind a lot of that changed with COVID. But anyway, God, do you know, I've got enough to bloody talk about, and there's me going off on one about whether I'm an introvert or an extrovert. And the wonderful Edita. But retreats are full of Editas, full of really lovely, kind people. So if you're a bit frightened to go on your own, don't be. Please don't be. You'll love it. You will love it. And the ladies and gents, when they go, are just really, really lovely people. Really, really lovely people. And also from the D-stash table, I got, and I had to check with Andrea if I was allowed to have them, because I thought it was like you've got to give something to take something. And it didn't have any money on. And Andrea said, no, it's all right, you can just take them. So to whoever put these on the D-stash table, I've got them. I'm more than happy to give you some money for them. But I'm hugely grateful because they are stunning. Farmhouse Christmas, Little House Needleworks. So that one is Pinewood Farm. There is Cock-a-doodle-doo. Don't we all love a cock? That doodles, by the way. Grandma's Quilt. And this was the one I really wanted. Grandma's Quilt. I can't pick this up. All I can think is, oh my God, have I just said that? About the cockerel. We'll use the proper word, the cockerel. It all goes horribly wrong. What does that say? Dairy Darling. Dairy Darling. Little cow and another little hen. There is this one, the Little Red Barn. Grandpa's Pickup. Horsing Around. Oh, I've just realised there's 2 Little Red Barns. Definitely a giveaway then at some point. I mean, I will give these away anyway. I'll either take them to another de-stash table or give them away, pass them on, because if I've been fortunate enough to get them for nothing, then, you know, somebody else should have them for nothing as well. What does this say? Farm Folk. And my absolute favourite one, if I can pick it up, Baa Black Sheep. And we'll talk about that. We'll come back to that. But how? I mean, like, just to give these away, how generous. Really, really. So whoever, if you know who put them on, please thank them for me, because I'm very, very grateful. And I also got this, Country Cottage Needleworks as well, Silent Night. And again, there will be giveaways. Hugely chuffed to bits. I got from Cross Stitch Bunny. What? I got more than that. I know I did. I know I did. I know I got the Haunted Moon off her, which is a fabric flare printed. I think it's a fabric flare. From Cross Stitch Bunny. And I was a bit annoyed with myself because I wanted to go back and get some fabric off her. And every time I went, the place was just rammed. So I never got there in the finish. And she says, I'll just pop over to my room, because she was rooming with Sarah, who I know from the Northeast retreats. Remember I showed you Sarah? I'll show you Sarah again, just in case you can't remember Sarah. Sarah is special. She's a special girl. She is. Where is she? Where's Sarah? Where are you? Oh man. Why can I not find her? Oh, I can't find the photo. Oh, here's the one. There's Sarah. She's lush. All my photos were lovely. What was I on about anyway? Yeah, she was rooming with Sarah and I never got over, so I didn't get any more fabric off her, which I was a little bit frustrated at myself. I got that, as well as the little Christmas one that I showed you before from Andrea, this Stitchy Signs technician. And her mum was there as well, who, oh, what a lovely lady. Really, really lovely. Was really, oh, Met some cracking people. Really, really. There was Sarah and her daughter-in-law. Is it Bethany? I'm sorry if it's not. And there was Julie and Elaine and the Asbo table. It's made me laugh. Not enough whip bags was there on the Sunday, Sarah. So I got a little oat holder. I'm loath to open it because of the microphone. I'm aware how. And then on the Sunday, the Stitchy ferret was there. And I got some thread off her called Jurassic, which I really love. I love the blue. I didn't even know blues and browns could go together until recently. And look at this, man. It's a Newcastle United B. I mean, I know it's hoops rather than stripes, but works for me. Works for me. That's a Newcastle United B. Needle minder. Lush. I got this fabric off her. And that's a good chunk of fabric. It's glorious, isn't it? Absolutely glorious. My God, this one is just... I mean, you've got to be kidding me. And I think I know what I'm going to stitch on it as well. I'm going to put it to one side because I'll show you what I think I'm going to stitch on it. And I got this one as well. So this is, I haven't told you what they are, sorry. So that was an 18 count Ada, that last, that one. What was this one? Oh, it's 14 count. And I don't normally buy a 14 count or a 28 count. I tend to gravitate to the tighter weaves. But if I like a fabric, I don't care what it is, I'll stitch on anything. This is a, says she, I don't buy 28 count. This is 28 count, strangely enough. But again, I just like the fabric. This seems a bit tighter as well. It's an even weave, so it doesn't seem like it's not an open hold sort of. And I got this fabric as well off Sophie. And aren't they incredible? That would be a mermaidy one if I stitched mermaids, but I don't. Never say never. I like that. Obviously I like it, I bought it. Come on, Sherrie, think about it. And these are the two vinyl bags that I bought from Sarah. Not enough whip bags. So that's a little Notions bag inside, and this is Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice fabric. Isn't it glorious? I'm really looking forward to using the stuff because I've had to just sit and look at it. Now this one was a custom made bag for somebody who didn't turn up. So that specifically asked for it with this fancy fabric in the inside and the paws on the outside, but I really like this. I like the paw fabric better than this fabric, so that suits me. And it's got a lovely little paw charm on. It's lovely. So they're off Sophie. These two I've just got in the post yesterday. These are me subscription fabrics. So Fibre on a Whim, Patchwork Rabbit. There is, I get a 28 count and it is Wheat Ada. Did I say 28 count? 20 count. Did I say 20 count? I don't know what I said. Don't know what I said, but it is a 20 count. Apologies if that's really noisy. Isn't that fabulous? And that is a perfect, excuse me, sampler fabric. And that was October's, I think, but the order was late coming in, so we only just received it recently. And this is my one from Lakeside, and this is a 32 count even weave, and this is a fabric flare which is called Frost. I was just having a look at it because it didn't look like there was any sort of marks in that piece there. But there is, they're just light. So this is Frost from Fabric Flare. So that is my retreat. And subscription. Bear with me one moment. I've just realised I haven't opened the fabrics which I'm going to do. So 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Okay, the lamb's tail has shaken twice and I'm back. And I've realised I've forgotten something but tough. So I got a tote bag. I got the VIP ticket, which was slightly more expensive. The reason being, not because I'm a very important person, although obviously I am. Don't know in what world, but anyway, as I've mentioned, I've got some health stuff, some mobility stuff going on. So if I needed to have a seat, I needed to have a seat. And there was a specific area for VIP people. Not VIP, but people who'd bought a VIP ticket to sit. And I thought that'll give me a better chance of having a seat. And I was pleased I'd gotten it because around lunchtime, honestly, there was people sat on steps, like the steps going up to the fire exits. There was ladies sat on each sort of tier of steps because there just was nowhere near enough seating for the amount of people. So I was quite grateful that I'd bought it. So I got a tote bag, a knitting and stitching tote bag, and in the tote bag was also a circular knitting needle, which I'm quite chuffed with. I used to be able to knit. Well, I can knit badly. But I've seen people using these recently and I fancied having a go. I'd really love to be able to knit some socks. So I fancy having a go, so quite chuffed with them. And a little thing of hand cream, which was really sweet. Lily hand cream. Haven't even opened it, so lovely. Right, fabrics. There was fabric, and more fabric. So I got this one. Oh. I got this one. The colour's not shown very well on there actually. It's quite it's a creamy with like an indigo blue. No idea what I'm going to do with it. Sort it out after. But I just buy fabrics I like and then figure the rest out when I get there. I bought this, which I thought was really lovely. Be really nice for Christmas pillows to finish. And I got this one, which was of a similar vein. So again, Christmas pillows, and they go together quite nicely as well. So if I want to do any piecework piecework. Have I just made that up? Is that a thing? I feel like it's a thing. And I got this one. Pins and needles and scissors. And I got some William Morris. Got that one. Just the feel of it, man. I haven't done any Geordie words today, have I? I mean, we say man after everything, but and another William Morris. I've got a fancy to try and make myself a project bag. Another William Morris. Not sure if this is a William Morris. It was on there, side of it. I really love this. And I did buy a sewn pattern which I'll show you, and I love this. Again, it's a William Morris. Love that. Love it. That's the fabric. Where to go next? I got this. Can you remember? I was talking about the wildflowers ink circles that I'd got, and I wasn't very happy with it. Funny enough, that's a William Morris. This was by Patchwork Paul Print. So I got this Wildflowers by Ink Circles, and I thought it was more thistle-y colours, so I thought it was more of a sage green and a lilac, and it isn't, it's grey. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. Probably my own fault, because I should have, you know, looked a bit. Anyway, I got a thistle crown. So I'm going to stitch Wildflowers as is, because a lot of people said, well, why don't you change the silver, the grey for a sage and make it your own? But then I spotted this, and this has been in my wish list for 1, 2, 3 stitch for a while. So I saw this. That was definitely coming home with me. I can't remember where I bought it from. So where do we start? I don't know where we start. I just don't know where we start. I got some needles. Just a 26 and a 28. John James. Because we always need needles, don't we? This was from, I don't know which. Cross Stitch Guild. I can't remember which vendor it was, but I got some buttons. So some little tiny bugs and some Christmas buttons. Christmas miniatures, these ones are called. So I got those. So this is all from the same vendor. I got a Lily of the Valley needle case. I can't wait to start stitching some of this stuff, honestly. Itching. I got this piece of linen. They had just literally random pieces of linen, so I just quite like this one. It's like a greeny, sagey, silvery, like a eucalyptus maybe colour. What do you call it? Eucalyptus? I love this. Cats are like biscuits. One is never enough. And this particular stall had everything that they were selling modelled on the wall. Do you know what I mean? There was model stitches of it on the wall. So it was really nice to see. And I think that was what made me jump in, because I looked at it a couple of times. This is definitely, and I saw the model stitch of this, the drawn thread, Moonlit Garden. And I'm all about the blues anyway, but this is a full kit. Is it a full kit? It's definitely got the fabric included. Oh, hang on. The woman's put everything that I bought inside here, and there was some other stuff in there. So yeah, Moonlight Garden by the Drawn Thread, and isn't that, I saw this stitched up, and to be honest, they all were. I could have bought so much from there because the models were just stunning. I got Christmas mitten, and this was in my car. A lot of the stuff I got, in my defence, I'm doing some defending, guys. In my defence, Santa said it was good. Second, in my defence, a lot of these were in me 1, 2, 3 stitch, either wish list or cart. So they don't really count, because they were kind of mine anyway, nearly, almost, kind of. So this was in me 1, 2, 3 stitch cart. I don't know if this was, but it is now. Sleigh Ride and Beaded Holiday. Now the beaded ones I discovered, I was talking to Zarina from Hawkins Hobbies. How very bizarre. This little weird thumb's just come up on me. I don't know if the camera's read something on there. How very bizarre. If anyone's got a MacBook Air, do you get weird thumbs? I mean, this is my world. This is, you know, this is Sherrie's world. Anyway, yes, I was talking to Zarina before I was very rudely interrupted by a thumb from Hawkins Hobbies, and the ones that say beaded on them are all beads, which makes me happy because there's a lot of beads in there. And apparently they're much quicker to stitch up because you don't need to bother. It's obviously got thread in there, but I'm assuming that's just to thread the beads. I hope. So that was from one vendor. Show you the threads that I got, and I got these from Paint Box Threads. They didn't have many threads that I saw. Barn Yarns was there, and I may have missed it, but I couldn't see, because I know they do sulkies and things, and I couldn't see any. It just seemed to be all like machine thread and quilting thread. So whether I've just not looked properly, but again the place was mobbed, and this was all in the afternoon, and by then I was tired. I was a bit worn out. So I could be wrong. So anyway, I found this stall, and it's called Paint Box Threads. So I got some variegated, and these are all 12 weights as well. And when I chatted to the lady who does them, she said that kind of in between a 1 and a 2 threads of DMC, like that equivalent. So I'm not sure whether they'll go. We had a conversation about whether they would go through 36, and I think they will. I hope they will. Doesn't matter if they don't, I'll just use 32 count, doesn't really matter. So I got the lovely silver and the red all variegated. That one, it's not actually coming up as bright as it is. It's much brighter in real life. It's much more yellowy. This one, which is really pretty. Again, it's not, the yellow is not coming up. Let's see if it was better on the board. Yeah, so it's much more pale pastel. It's got greens and pinks in that one, which is more difficult to see than this one, which is lovely. So I've got all those. Ideal, not for this pattern, but there's a lot of like mandalas that ink circles do, and you know me by now anyway, I like a monochrome stitch, but I like to have a little bit of, as Laura from Lala D Stitches says, a little bit of movement in it. So I like a variegated thread because it's a way of doing an easy monochrome but still getting some colours in it. So I got them. I also got this pack of variegateds from them. And the prices were really reasonable. If I remember right, I think these were, I can't remember how much they were, but you got one free, because and I didn't even realise it was the lady's mum who said, oh no, you get another one, because I'd just picked up the 4 that I want, and she went, well, if you get another one, it's free, you know. I was like, oh, right. Yeah. So really lovely. She is on the internet as well, Paintbox Threads. And she was the only place as well that I saw any silks. Now my friend Leanne had asked me to look out for some silks, but this was the only ones that they had, and they were just the these, and there wasn't a huge amount of colours, but again they were quite reasonable. I think they were 4 for £12, which for silks is pretty good. So they're the ones I got. Aren't they lovely? They feel divine. So again, that is Paintbox Threads, and she was a lovely girl. You do. You want to give your money to good people, don't you? To nice people. I've done that one. Right, let's go to one of me biggies. Yeah, but they were just me little ones. Sparklies was there. And when you don't have a local needle workshop, and I'm not going to a retreat anytime soon, it's kind of, you've got, Santa said, Sherrie, you deserve it. You deserve it. So this one is an 18 count Ada, and it is Nebula. She's really pretty. I'm going to have to fold them back up with the names so that I remember which one's which. And this is an 18 count Ada as well, and this is Leo. And it is a lot yellower than it's showing up on camera. The white to make it show me better. Not really, but you can see it is a little bit. So it's got like browns in it as well, and yellows. It's really lovely actually. And I bought it thinking it's a good sampler colour. Okay, so they're the two Adas I got. This is a 40 count linen called Ice Queen. Again, it's a bit bluer than what it's shown up. It's not as... Yeah, that's more like it. It really is like a nice sort of frost colour. It's lovely. Obviously, or I wouldn't have bought it. Might as well just stay standing up, mightn't I? Do you know, I've got a fancy, oh gosh, rise and fall desk. And that's what I should do. I should stand up. Okay, this is a 36 count linen and it is Miss Scarlet. Isn't that beautiful? This is another 36 count and this is Capricorn. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? It's a little bit more greeny. It's a little bit brighter than what it's shown. Yeah, it's a bit brighter. If I can get... as good as I can get it. God, have you heard that squeaky floorboards? Maybe I should go on a diet. Okay, now these two are the same, but different strengths, different countage. Countage. Yeah. I like to make a word up now and again, don't I? So this is Burnt Umber and this is 36 count. Again, much richer than what it showed. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's loads better. And I got a 32 count Burnt Umber as well. So it just goes to show. I'll show you this one. That's much darker, you can see. So even though they're both linen, they've obviously come from different dye lots. Well, obviously, because you wouldn't dye the same. You do all one count, surely. Not that I know how you do professional dyeing, because I don't. But so that's the 32 count, and that's much deeper than the 36 count. So that is that. This one, I love this one. I love them all, but this is called Bubblegum. Look at that, man. Yeah, they're shown much better. It's maybe again a little bit more yellower than it's shown slightly. I'm deliberately showing them because you've got to see fabric, haven't you? And this one is a 32 count Ocean Depths. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And again, I've got no idea what I'm going to do with them, but these ones were definitely for sort of samplers, but no doubt. And this one, this is a 40 count Black Dahlia. Isn't it just? Look at that. Even now I'm like, oh, they literally kind of take my breath away. Like, does that sound really sad? I mean, it probably does to anybody who's not a stitcher. Right, let's get moving on. And then I bought some Nora's from Sparklies as well, from Kate. I got, and again, these were all in my 1, 2, 3 stitch, either cart or wish list. So I got Raven, which is one of the Bewitching Pixies. I got Anna, one of the Bewitching Pixies. Gigi, again, surprisingly enough, a Bewitching Pixie. And Xenia, another Bewitching Pixie. And these were all in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart, so these don't really count. And then I got this one, Mirror, Miss Christmas Eve. Yes, Miss Christmas Eve. Isn't she fabulous? Oh. It says on the back, this is Christmas glamour at its finest, isn't it? Now, remember this fabric that I thought I had a one to go on? Nora Corbett. That's what I was thinking would go on that. And this one, and I haven't left much time, so I don't want to talk about it too long, but this was in my cart that I was going to buy. So this is Pisces, and this is my star sign. Explains it all now, doesn't it? And what I love about this is that she's a lady of colour. My daughter, her dad's Nigerian, so she's a beautiful woman of colour. And it makes me sad in the cross-stitching community that there's not more diversity. Well, it's not, it doesn't make me sad, but it's, yeah, I just think it's a shame that we don't have as much diversity, certainly in the UK, in my experience, I should say. So part of the reason I really wanted to stitch this was because of that. And I had a huge conversation with Zarina from Hawkins Hobbies about it, and she was talking about Bella Filipina is a man in, I think she said the Philippines, certainly far in Southeast Asia, and that he provides tones. And funnily enough, Laura in La La Day, when I watched her Flosstube yesterday, she was talking about the same thing as well, that she wanted some more diversity in her cross stitch. So yeah, I got this shepherd's bush. Am I holding it the right way around? No, I'm not. Some nice smalls. And that is what I got from Sparklies. There's more. Oh yes, there's more. A bit more. I got this, which is a dress. I've got no idea how to make a dress, but we'll follow the pattern and we'll see if it works. I like the old-fashioned, those old-fashioned pinnies, you see. So this is what I got from Hawkins Hobbies, and I'm dying to start on these. So Mill Hill Snow Crystals. Look at the colours, man. Beautiful. I got another Jingle Sleigh. Jingle Sleigh? Jingle all the way, sleigh? And another one, which was just the beaded. So this is all just beads. And I got some bigger Mill Hill. I wanted this one. I saw it for this Halloween. And I was going to get it for next Halloween. So when I saw it, I just picked it up. This is it the Witch's Clothesline? And again, these were in my 1, 2, 3 stitch card. So these don't get really either. So, what does that say? Mushroom Gnome and Rabbit Gnome. So I'm looking forward to stitching these up. And then I got some more Mirabilias. I just couldn't help it. Honestly. The Raven Queen. You can see there's a running theme here with my mirrors, can't you? And Nora's. Love that too. In fact, that would probably go lovely on. Where have I just put them? What have I just done with all them fabrics? There was a huge pile of them. What have I done with them? Oh, they're here. Do you know what it is? This one. It's all pretty much trimmed with black. Might need to have a look at that and see if I can, but that would go lovely on that, wouldn't it? Maybe, 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 baby. And I got this, and again, this is Laura from Lala D inspired Stargazer. And I'm already doing Fairy Moon, so it's of a very similar ilk, and she's literally just finished doing all the stitching for it. She's just got all the beads to do. Love it. And I did treat myself. Not that I hadn't already, but I did treat myself to a fully kitted mirror from Serena and Robert at Hawkins Hobbies. Is it Winter Cream? I'm sure it's Winter Cream. Can't say, it's on the back. I'm sure it's, I can't remember. I can't remember. Isn't she beautiful though? All the beads, all the Krynic, all the threads, everything, and the fabric. Everything that I need. So that was a little bit pricey, I have to confess. But Santa said I deserved it, so who am I to argue with the big fat fella? He only comes once a year, you got to listen to him. And the last vendor I've got to show you from, which is my last pile, was the Cross Stitch Guild, which I was hugely excited about visiting. I did see that they were going to be there, and I was quite excited. I'm a member of the Sampler Guild because I chose it as I won the raffle at the Royal Retreat, and I chose it. But they have like weekly meetups on a Tuesday or a Wednesday at 7:30, depending. And it's just too late for me because I'm an hard biddy and I like to go to my bed early and get up early. That's who I am. So unfortunately I'm not really getting much from the Sampler Guild. So I was really looking forward to joining the Cross Stitch Guild. So yeah, so I got that and I'll show you that at the end. But I got, and they had examples of all of these. So I got Christmas trimmings, which is a little key fob, scissor fob, and it's all kitted, comes all kitted. And I got the little gingerbread man, and these were like 2 for £10, so So little, and the designer was there, Jane Greenhoff, I think she's called, and she was lovely. And oh, I mean, the examples they had, yeah, they just sell things. You don't even need to be convinced. You look at them and you're just like, oh. Heavenly Hardanger, which again comes fully kitted, including the scissors. So I'm looking forward to trying this. There's a lady called Sarah Humphrey on YouTube, and she's an embroiderer. She was trained at the Royal School of Needlework, and she does some cracking tutorials on. So if you're interested in embroidery, she's definitely one to watch. And I know she's done some hardanger tutorials, and I watched them thinking, oh, I'd love to give it a go one day. But it's the first time I've come across something where it's been the full kit, and it's just something little, like really little, that isn't overwhelming. I know Julie from Running with Scissors, Stitching with Jane and Julie. No, it's Jane, sorry, who teaches hardanger as well, and Jane's doing some at the moment, and it's beautiful but really intimidating. I got this little Biscornu, and it's only Biscornu, I don't know, Biscornu, I think. I'm going with Biscornu. It was little, it's only about this big, so I really fancied that. And again, it was all the full kit that you got. And then I got this. This is divine. I saw the model of this. Can't tell you how gorgeous it was. And it teaches you techniques as you're going through it, different things. So by the end, and it is a full kit again. And I'm going to show you a little bit of it at the very end. And this is my last thing. Yes, it come to an end. It did come to an end. Look, it's a spool. Look at that. And it's a spool of flowers, a whole load of flowers. It's stunning. Again, the model, I just looked at it and I said, I was talking to the designer, Jane, at the time, and I said, I need to have that. That wasn't a want. There was no want in there at all. Need to have it right now. And I already had another one picked up, and I was like, I just put that back. I was like, no, I need that one. I need that one. And again, get everything with it. And the last thing I bought, I know I said there wasn't any more, and there isn't, kind of. But the last thing I bought was a membership to the Cross Stitch Guild. And I wanted to show you. So you get a magazine 5 times a year, and it goes through one of the books, and this is the Little Book of Roses. So this gives you an example. I'll show you closer. So that's the example, and can you see the little pages that you learn to do? So you end up with a book, and there's another sort of 4 or 5 pages that I can't show you because they've got patterns on the same page, and it would be too difficult to. Would it be too difficult? Oh no, I think they're the same patterns. So each one anyway does teach you how to do certain things. So the satin stitch and all sorts of stuff in it. So by the time you've got through your 5 magazines, you've completed, like, so it's almost like a workshop that you're doing, because you're learning different techniques as you go. And in this magazine there's a barn owl. The pattern is in there. There is a little robin tape measure in there. It shows you how to make it up. And there is just hairing around pattern in there. And there's other stuff. Obviously there's information in there as well. I got a pattern, a free pattern. To do that. I got a postcard. You never know when you need a postcard. Royal Cross Stitch Guild. The Cross Stitch Guild. A thread card. Got a free. It's in free. I mean, it was the membership. I got the. Doesn't say what. Doesn't say what flavour it is. Don't know what flavour it is. Sorry. And I haven't really looked through the rest of it, but it gives you the Mulan, and Madeira threads. And there's another magazine, and this is just full of eye candy. Just incredible. So I did join that. If anybody is interested, I can always put a link in. There's a letter here that tells you all about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up the letter. If you want to take a screenshot of the letter, that tells you a little bit more about the Cross Stitch Guild. If you're interested. So now I'm going to have fun finding homes for everything. So I think I've officially reached the sable stitches. Stash accumulated beyond life expectancy. That is that. So it's been a bit of a long one today, but that was because Santa came early. And now I feel exhausted all over again. I feel like I've retraced my steps right the way through everything. I had some lovely people though, really, really lovely people, and I bumped into a couple of the girls that I know from different retreats, which was really nice. Yeah, if you get the chance to go, I definitely recommend it, but save your pennies first. If you're anything like me, you will need them. And you always go with a budget. And the budget's always blown way too quickly. Oh, my hands are freezing. Well, I think that is about it. A final thought from me today. Have I got one? Have I got one? I wonder if I've got a one in here. I'll say that one that I've just gone at. Dear past, thanks for all the lessons. Dear future, I am ready. Bye for now.